everyone. Welcome to another episode of Getting to Know Your Center Owners. I'm with Tina today in Wentzville, Missouri, and I love her. She's amazing. It was such a pleasure to get to know her. And I think anybody that goes there, you will love her. So I'm going to let Tina introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Tina with Harmonic Healing. And as Gail said, we're in Wentzville. I love my location. I have a fantastic city behind me. And we've just got a lot of really great clients out here.
I love the energy of Wentzville when I went there. It was really, really fun. A little too humid for me when I was there.
Right.
But oh my gosh, it was such a beautiful location. And I like how you're secluded where you are. And there wasn't any noise or traffic. It was beautiful, beautiful. Well, tell me, how did the egg find you?
Well, actually, Gail, you and I have been friends and have known one another for 7 years. Can you believe that?
I did not know it was 7. Wow.
My husband David and I came to visit you in Denver or Colorado for the other technology, and I wanted to purchase that one all those years ago. And that being so much more expensive and the way that you used them, I wanted to, and it just it just never could happen for us. I kept trying, but that was one of those where I came out of the very first session knowing exactly that's what I wanted to do, because I had been searching for a long time for something more to do more with the health field, but not necessarily mainstream medicine.
Right. I remember all those years ago talking to you, and it was an expensive device. That the price point on that just wasn't good for the return on investment for people. So when I came up with the egg, I thought, we need to make this more affordable so that it's available to the masses and not just the classes.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So it's wonderful.
Yeah. So then you opened your center recently.
We opened in June officially. Might have used it a few times prior to that, but we opened officially in June.
Yeah.
We've not really been, we're still at that 6-month mark, but we've had really, I've gotten some really great clients, really wonderful clients.
So happy. And you're really working the town over there. You were just telling me before the interview started that the city's kind of behind you and they're featuring you, and the chamber and the women's group. So I'm so proud of you.
Yes. Yeah. It's been wonderful. Great fun.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
Fun to get up and go to work every day. I really enjoy it.
I hear you. I miss running my center. I really do. I miss, being with the people every day, but I get to help you with your clients and all the 21 or 22 centers that are now open. I get to help all you guys with your clients. So I was helping Kirkland yesterday, and, and so I get questions from you guys every day. It's great, but it's not the same. So,
right.
So tell me about some of your clients that have been in.
Oh, I have had some wonderful clients. At the beginning, it was a lot of the Gaia clients whom I love because they are so on the ball, so with it. Probably one of my very early clients who I have just, she's got probably the most fun story yet. I've had some really fun ones, but this one still, maybe because she was one of my early clients and because it was such an unusual thing that happened, it kind of sticks with me. So, but this client was a Gaia person, and she came in and did her first session. And during her session, what was really unique with her is she had a pain that she said started almost immediately from when the music began in her left leg. And the pain moved up then to the top of her right hand. And then it moved up to the side of her neck. And then it switched to this side of the neck and the crown. And I mean, it moved around. It went down on her right arm. And then it came back up and finally shot out the side of her neck. So, she's telling me this after we get out of the egg, and I'm, we're back at my desk. We're doing our talk, our wrap up or whatever. And she's telling me this story. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that might not be just like an energy release, like a blockage or something, like an energy blockage like we get from trauma. And, those little sprickety things happen all the time during a session, for me anyway. So I was like, well, I don't know how you feel about this, but I said, I'm kind of inclined to believe that was more of an entity or an entity release.
Yeah.
something that was attached to her that left. And she's like, well, uh, being familiar with meridians and studying them a little bit herself, she was kind of leaning that way as well. So the next week she comes in. But I clarified with her and I said, you know what, I'm going to pass this off to Gail and let's see what she thinks about it. It was right when we opened up, so I'm really, really busy. And the next week she comes in for her next session, and I'm like, oops, forgot to call Gail, so put her in the egg. And then I'm trying to reach you right away to say, okay, what's your thoughts on this? And you came up with the exact same thing, that it was an entity that was searching around the body, looking for someplace to get comfortable and just could not.
So that, that happens a lot. And I want to go back to, you said Gaia, that, people coming in from Gaia. So I did an interview on Gaia TV. And so a lot of the Gaia viewers and subscribers really are, you don't have to sell the egg to them. So just so people understand what that means, Gaia. Yeah. And I remember you calling me, and that was the first thing that came to me is, when you're in the egg and you're in that resonance and you're in that high vibration of complete love, if you have a dark energy that's there, people have these dark energies that attach to them when they're in fear or when they're in anger. And when you get into that place of love, that's not comfortable. So they tend to exit.
Yeah. Yeah. And this client, she was very upbeat. She wasn't, a depressed person or anything. She came in. So it wasn't like she had any idea that there was anything there, so she comes in for her second session and we put her in the egg, and then I'm panic calling you and just to get your insight on it, so then second sessions go and I open up the door and I'm like, so how was it? She's like, well, she said it didn't happen quite as fast this time, but she did end up with the pain on the top of her hand that then moved up to her heart region and just whooshed out. Like she said it felt like it lifted her entire chest off the chair, that it just exited that way. Yeah. So, I was like, oh, well, okay. So let me tell you what Gail said, so we had a good laugh about that. And, in my head, I'm thinking, she's like, well, she actually asked me, well, how many more of these things do you think I have? And I'm like, I don't know, come back next week and we'll find out. We'll see if there's
common.
So she's common. And we haven't had those kind of experiences, quite so stark as that, which I guess is a little comforting actually, but she's a wonderful client, and I look forward to seeing her again.
Yeah. It's definitely not uncommon. I've experienced a lot of this over the years, and it's not quite like the, what's the movie where the girl spins her head around or anything like that? No, it's not like that at all. But people have these, sometimes they have people who have passed away and they attach to them, and it's not malicious. It's not dangerous. I don't know. I haven't seen very many, that were dangerous or malicious, but it's just a beautiful thing that they're attached, but it's not for the highest and best of the person in there for them to be attached.
No, a lot of times it really drains their energy.
Yeah.
People who have attachments that way, they're not all loving, and you might not know they're there, but sometimes, they just really drain your energy.
Yeah. So. And I get that. Sometimes they'll release and then they'll attach to me because I seem to be the one that released them. Yes. And I just say, you know what? I love you. Thank you. And I send them to the light.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
It drains my energy. I know when they're there because I'm like 2:00 in the afternoon. I want to go to sleep. That's how I know that they're there.
Exactly. Time to get in the egg.
Yeah. I love the egg because then, in that resonant chamber, it's an immersive experience. There's nowhere for them to hide. That's why I think they move around, be like, oh, can I hide here? When, like during a microcurrent treatment for Lyme disease, I've heard this too, where Lyme disease will move. So they feel it in their wrist and then it jumps to their shoulder. And then, because the Lyme can't hide, but even in the harmonic egg, Lyme can't hide. It's the immersive experience.
Yeah. We've also had, I've had several clients who have diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and the egg has been wonderful there. I had a gentleman who actually tested his blood sugar before the egg, and then he tested it again after the egg, and dropped 28 points just
Wow.
in that during the session, during that 1 hour in session. I also had another client who tested her sugar. She tested it every morning, and she tested it on a Sunday morning, or yeah, it was Sunday morning before her session here. And then she tested again on Monday morning, and it actually went down 68 points in a 24-hour period.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, so that was, so
Amazing.
really good luck. Whatever's being reset there, is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I know you have a little disruption with your client, and so that's everybody can know that your client's there. You're busy, so we'll keep going. So yeah, I found type 1 pancreas, type 2 liver. So I know that we have had great success. My mom had success getting her diabetes levels down, her glucose levels down, her A1Cs down. Yeah, it's been an amazing, and I don't know if it has to do with rebooting the whole system, the nervous system, and letting the body function properly, or if it's really just releasing the the toxins from the liver to help the body to heal naturally. Who knows? But yeah, we've seen some great stuff with diabetes. It's amazing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you had a story too, right?
I had a really good experience. We moved this past summer about the time that we were opening up the shop. It's been a busy year for us. But I, washing windows, carrying heavy boxes and stuff. And one Saturday, I was like in agony because I was in the middle of all this. This shoulder here, it felt like I just actually needed a sling for my arm. It just felt so heavy, and it radiated all the way across the collarbone. And so my chiropractor is just a couple doors up from me. And I actually headed this way thinking I was going to hit the chiropractor. Well, when I passed his parking lot, he was packed. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm just going to put myself in the egg. And when I'm done, then I'm going to, I'll hit him then. He'll be slower up, hopefully. So I did. I got in the session. And I mean, I was in some serious pain. And when I got out of the session, I could tell it was still there. It would be tender, and I could definitely work it into, a pain again if I went back to washing windows and, carrying heavy stuff. But I didn't end up even going to him that afternoon because I just didn't feel like I needed it.
Yeah.
It was really amazing that just in that 1 hour session, 50 minutes, that it could be that powerful. But it really was. It really
I
was.
know. Every day I'm like, really? And it's like 13,000 people later. I'm like, really? So there's always a new story from each individual body and what it does. And even for myself, I'm always amazed at what happens. And I thought, could it really do that?
Right. Right.
Well, that's amazing. That's amazing. I know you're super busy. I know you, I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for your time. Do you have anything else you wanted to share?
Those are my highlights. I've got lots of little ones, but yes, those are my highlights. I'm actually working on a couple of young people doing the remote sessions. Like everybody else is having some really good luck with the remote sessions on them. So hopefully soon I'll have some stories there for y'all.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, get on to your client. Thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate it, and have a great day.
Great. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.